Good evening, Billerica, Massachusetts. My name is Trek Reef,
And I am Nancy Albertson.
and we welcome you to this inaugural restarting of the Meeting House here on Billerica Access Television. It is December 3rd, and we're going live tonight.
Yes, yes. This is live right
now. This is happening this very
Yes.
second. In this beautiful space. I mean, this is an amazing set, isn't it? I can't believe this is available at Billerica Access
I
Television.
agree. And there are other, this is what's known as a virtual set. We are currently in our mini studio. It's this little tiny room, but this virtual set makes it look like a bigger space, and it's pretty cool.
It is really cool.
There are other options, though, too. So if that's something you're interested in doing, by all means, come down to BATV. I'd love to see you.
Nancy showed me these virtual sets when I first decided we were going to restart the election night results here at BATV. And you can check out one of those shows that actually is on YouTube, I think. So if you look up Trek Reef on YouTube, you can find the show. I'll post it on our Facebook page, which also will be coming out. There's a bunch of things we're going to be getting together. We're going to try out a bunch of formats on the Meeting House. If you recall, the show started, I believe it was 1991.
That sounds correct, yeah.
And it was started by Donald McDonald and, well, there's another person, Roberta, I can't remember her last name, but there was a group of folks who got it started. Donald McDonald, Shirley Ormland, and Bob Thorlton held down the fort on Meeting House Forum for many years. Mm-hmm. And then Andrew Shea, oh gosh, Al Carpenito. I think we
Al's World.
I think Al.
Yes.
Did Andrew Valier work on that as well, or was that just Billerica News? I think he came in a few times, and I think I think he was in it for a while. It was a great crew. We had a great group of folks working on the forum, and then it went off the air. And part of that was that there were a number of us who were leaving town, going to school, taking on jobs other places, and that led us to now. So we're trying out the name The Meeting House. In the old days, the Meeting House was the place where everyone gathered. It was where you gathered for church, believe it or not. It was where you gathered for town meeting. In fact, Billerica's first parish church used to have a meeting house. The very first meeting house was on the town common. You know where the gazebo is in the town common?
Yes, I know where the gazebo is.
So if you're facing the gazebo and your back is to the Civil War monument.
Okay.
So you're staring at it, staring towards the Cummings Road side, Cummings Street side. And you're looking at the gazebo. On the left of it, there is a tower of bricks. Most people don't notice it. On one side is the Revolutionary War Memorial. And on the other side is the drawing of, and the actual, a metal impression of the text used to describe how to build the meeting house in the late 1600s, the very first meeting house. So that's where it was. Sunday mornings it served for church. Afterwards you would go to the Sabbath Day house. And people would chat about the sermon and they would eat lunch.
Oh, that sounds very quaint. Is that?
Quaint is the word.
Nice. It's nice.
And colonial.
Colonial.
It's very
yes.
colonial.
Oh, I love colonial. I don't use that word enough.
I do like the word colonial. I don't like colonists very much, but I do like the word colonial.
Yeah.
In the time period, I like some of the motifs, and of course it's a history that we're both proud of and have issues with. It's something that is just as complicated as our human lives are today.
Indeed.
So the meeting house served a number of functions. There would be guest preachers, guest speakers who would come in, and I think the idea spilled over into what Roberta and Bob and Shirley and Donald were doing, in which they would bring in a guest and then they would discuss. And I'm hoping that we can look at different formats. With the forum, we had Al's World.
Oh, yes. I remember Al's World.
Well, it is Al's World. We just live in it.
That's right.
And anyway, there are a lot of other segments that we had on the show. It was a great show. It was a lot of fun to produce back in the day. That show had more of a, I guess you could say, a magazine style.
Yeah, I'd go with that. There were different segments. It was chopped up a little bit.
It was. I would have a guest on for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was the one who kept the talk show aspect of it the closest to what it was when it was the Meeting House Forum.
And it was an hour long. Right now, we're probably just going to go for a half hour tonight. This is kind of a test run, if you will.
It is. So it's already been 5 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Right?
Which means we only have
Oh.
25 minutes left of this amazing
Oh
program.
dear, we better move it along.
We should. I want to tell you about a couple of things that have been happening in my life.
Please do.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
First of all, how's your kid?
My kid?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to know about my life?
I do.
I thought you were going to tell me about your life.
I was, but I want to hear about your kid.
Oh, my kid.
It's Christmas coming, and I
Oh.
assume
Yes.
very excited.
Oh, yes, he is so excited. In fact, on Saturday, we took my son to see Santa at the mall, and he was just thrilled, which was awesome. Because last year we took him, and he was not thrilled. He was not happy at all. We couldn't get him to sit on Santa's lap. He didn't want to talk to him. He didn't want to be near him. And we had to, my husband and I actually had to sit with Santa to get Jericho, my son, Jericho, to sit on Santa's lap. And again, he would not talk to him.
Oh.
So that was last year. This year, totally different kid.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Totally different. He was so excited about it. And I'm not sure if it's just that he's 4 now, and he's maybe when he was 3, he didn't quite understand it as much. I mean, he knew what Christmas was. He knew what Santa was. But once he got there and he saw him, he just didn't want anything to do with it. But this year, he was just all about it. He couldn't wait to tell Santa what he wanted for Christmas.
Yes.
And he was in line with this big smile on his face when he saw him just sitting there. He just lit up. And then Santa, this was like a really, really good mall Santa.
I love mall Santas.
Yeah, growing up, I knew mall Santas as Santa's helpers.
Sure.
So this was a very, very good Santa's helper. You know, the real beard, just super sweet to Jericho. And once Jericho was all done with Santa, you know, they did the picture, and I got awesome pictures this year too. There was no forcing of it. He was up there, big smile, cheese, and super, super cute, really good. It was you know, worth it getting they do packages for pictures and crap like that. It was definitely worth it for just the look on Jericho's face this year. And then he got a candy cane afterwards, and Santa gave that to him, and then his face, as if it couldn't, you know, glow anymore, it just lit up more, because it was like, oh, now I get sugar!
Peppermint flavored sugar
Yes.
is the best.
It's like I just saw Santa, and now he gives me sugar! Woo! But it was wonderful. It was the highlight of his weekend. So he's very excited. And we prepped him for it beforehand.
Sure.
And he just couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to see him. And I thought it was going to change, because last year he was pretty excited leading up to it.
Sure.
But like I said, once he got there, wasn't the case. This year, just so thrilled. Santa was the man. He was the man.
Excellent.
Yeah, Christmas is going to be great.
Where did you go?
We went to the North Shore Mall.
Nice.
Yeah, because I live on the North Shore. So.
But from Billerica, you know.
Yes, originally I am from Billerica.
Billerica blood right
Yeah,
now.
I work here at Billerica Access Television. So
Assistant Executive Director.
that is correct. I am the Assistant Executive Director.
Big cheese.
You don't have to talk me out. So please, I'm going to plug BATV. Please come down to Billerica Access Television. I believe I plugged the mini studio earlier. Again, this is a mini studio. You can do this too. If you live or work here in town or associated with an organization, you can use our facility. And you can always feel free to come down here and talk to me, and I can tell you what we have to offer, because we do have other things outside of this room. So I'm sorry to take away from your forum.
No, I think it's a great thing. You know, part of the reason I really wanted to start the Meeting House back up is to try to get more people involved with Billerica Access Television. Try to get folks interested in town, state, and national politics, issues, culture, nature, place. We're going to feel a lot of these things out. And I'm hoping that people will come in and say, you know, I want to do a show like that too. You weren't just talking up the BATV before, but you know, we talked about the mini studio. The sets you can choose from are really kind of phenomenal, and you'll get to see how versatile this set is shortly when I get up to do another thing that we're going to be doing later on in the program. But we want this to be an opportunity for people to enjoy local access television, and you know, anyone who's interested in you know what, you have an idea, come talk to Nancy. Seriously, any idea. There aren't a lot of stupid ideas in the world. If you think that yours is, you're probably wrong. Trust me, I've been there. I've had some stupid ideas too. Yeah, I have done that. But anyway, today,
But we are a great forum for just getting the word out too. So
It's
if
true.
if you're part of an organization and you're looking to promote yourselves, specifically, you know, the nonprofits in town that are doing events and whatnot, we are a great resource to you.
and you know what? Even if you're not, so you're from town, you're in an organization, you have some things that you want to say, you have a great show idea, you have a cooking show idea. You know, one of the cool things about BATV is that it's not just for cable anymore. So
That's right.
I heard that we have a live stream on the website.
We do. If you go to batvinc.org, there is a tab for our live stream, and we live stream all 3 of our channels, our public, our educational, and our government channels, on our website. So you can see us in real time on the web. We also have all of our programming available on an on-demand feature that's on our website, and our programs are available on archive.org. So if you can't find the Trek
That's
program from the voting, right?
Yeah, from April.
Yeah, if you
From
can't find it
April.
on YouTube, you can definitely find it on archive.org or on our on-demand.
And I also heard that there is now a BATV plugin for the Roku.
Yes, there is. And I love Roku, so.
Yeah, me too. It's the way we watch everything these days, we millennials. Although I think we're more zennials, but whatever.
Is
Star
that a
Wars.
thing? I don't
well,
know that
Star
that's a
Star
thing.
Wars affected us, I think, a little bit more than the millennials than it did millennials.
I'd agree with that.
So
if
we're in
we
that
are in the
zennial-
I
whatever
feel
that
like
means.
zennials made up. Yeah.
It is made up. It's all made up. Life is made up.
Wow, you just blew my mind.
English is made up.
That's true.
Chinese is made up.
So,
Greek.
wow. Okay.
According
We're
to
going
the
a little deeper than I'm expecting to go here.
13.7 billion years to evolve
everything.
to this one spot.
This spot.
Right now.
Right now.
Not then. Now.
Now. Right now. Right
Now.
Okay. Okay.
So
And if I haven't mentioned before, this is
We're a
a
little
trial
silly.
run. This is our first
And-
show back. Well, this is the first meeting house in a long
it
time.
is in a long time.
Totally different format.
And we're trying to be a little bit more silly than usual.
This
'cause-
is how I am. I'm not trying to be silly, but it just, I saw that. I saw
well, it's
that.
because the TV
Yeah.
screen is right in
Now
front
I
of us.
have some lower thirds I'd like to put
Oh yeah,
on.
you should see how these lower thirds work. These are great. So
Yeah.
Nancy, why don't you put your name up
Yeah, hold on a second here.
instead of mine?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is a really fun thing because what you see moving off the camera here, because you can sort of see where the thing happens on the edge. You know, it's magic, and by magic I mean technology. So you can see that Nancy's arm gets cut off when she moves it to use this control panel, which
Yeah, so
one of
you
these
can
days
see.
we'll show you the whole behind the scenes how this works.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good episode. Maybe we can get Jake to help us with that.
It's pretty cool. isn't
Jake
it?
really likes doing exploratory stuff like this.
So
Hey,
there's my
Nancy,
lower third.
you have a lower
It should
third.
be over there though. So
Well-
we're gonna work out the kinks later.
Yeah.
I may not even be here later. This is your
I mean,
show.
I may not be here later either, even though it's my show.
Because the meeting house, it's had different hosts and
It has.
different guests, and I
Different
may
segments?
not. I may not be here.
Or she may be.
I might. You
We'll
did
see.
ask me to be here, so I am
I
pleased.
might ask her back. We'll see
I'm-
how tonight goes.
I'm pleased to be in. Here's your lower third.
Hey,
I-
there's my lower third. Apparently, I'm the host of the meeting house.
You are. I think that maybe next time I'll combine ours. I can actually
Yeah.
do that on the fly if you want to see how this works. Am I taking up too much time? I
No,
know we
not
got
at
stuff
all.
to talk about.
While you're doing that, if you want, I can tell you about some of the things I've been working on because that'll lead into one of the things we're going to show you in a little bit. the last few weeks have been a really exciting time for
Yep, go.
the Billerica Interfaith Association, and in the week of Thanksgiving, during the week of Thanksgiving on Tuesday night, we had this beautiful interfaith service for Thanksgiving, bringing faith traditions from all over town together to celebrate a really wonderful holiday holiday service and celebration. We had folks from the Episcopal and Baptist and congregational traditions of Christianity, Catholicism, members from, of course, now that I am naming all the groups that came, I'm a little worried that I'm going to leave people out. I don't want to do that, but we had people from the Masjid down on Rangeway Road, the mosque. We had folks from local Hindu community, Unitarian Universalist Church, where I'm associated and affiliated. One of these days, that'll get explained on this show. A lot of people ask how a rabbi goes to church. It's a great story. I'd love to share it with you. It has nothing to do with Christianity, actually. It's Unitarian Universalism isn't part of that. And I need to be able to tie that in because Meeting House Forum was started by Unitarian Universalists based on the Unitarian Universalist Meeting House across the street, First Parish Church.
Oh, wow.
So tying it all together, I do want to share that story at some point. But we had a wonderful service. We had 2 children's choirs sing, one from the local Hindu community and one from the Christian community. We had great scriptures read from different traditions. It was really wonderful. And then this past Sunday night, we had a wonderful interfaith Christmas. And that interfaith Christmas, I'm going to say interfaith Christmas because I'm going to use Christmas as the secular holiday.
Okay.
You know, December 25th is a federal holiday called Christmas.
Yes.
It is a secular holiday. It's the secular part of Christmas. And, you know, living as a Jewish person in a majoritarian Christian nation can be a little jarring sometimes. Christmas music isn't my music. Doesn't belong to my people, although some of my people have written Christmas songs like A White Christmas.
That's true.
It is. So there are some interesting crossovers, and Barbra Streisand's Christmas album is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a really great service. We had a really great concert, combined choir from churches all over town, and again, the feeling of light coming into the world. You know, we have the story of Jesus, and he is the light of the world in the Christian mythos. In the Jewish mythos, we have the Chanukiah, the menorah for Hanukkah. The light mythos comes out in Islam. Miriam or Mary is highly respected. I mean, it was such a beautiful concert, and I got to sing with the congregation "Light One Candle" from Peter, Paul, and Mary, our Hanukkah song. It was really special.
And you have a lovely voice.
Oh, thank you.
You do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Tell me more about my eyes.
Oh.
So what I want to do, that was a good lead-in, I think, to tell you a little bit about the rest of this weekend.
Oh, yes, yes.
It was a very exciting weekend because this is where it's really strange, because Santa to me is a completely secular character, and I grew up with Santa, and I love Santa, and Santa is the best. Hooray, Santa.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Santa came to Billerica again. It was so great.
Well, I agree. I'm not Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I don't know why I had a hard time. I'm not. I wasn't raised Christian. I was raised to believe in a higher power. But man, I still love Santa. I still get excited about that. And I was talking about bringing my kid to Santa and how excited he was. I was just as excited, and actually a little bit disappointed that I didn't get to sit with him again this year. But so excited that Jericho was like, yeah, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going. And Christmas was such a huge part of my family, and here, being, living here in Billerica, and the activities and the events,
yes.
and just the whole holiday festival is such a great event.
So I grew up on Oak Street, North Billerica.
Oh.
And
Wait, Oak Street?
Oak Street.
Yes.
Oak Street.
Yes, I remember Oak
Between Sheldon and Pond.
It's still there.
It's still there.
Like, I remember
Wayside, it was called at one point. Mm-hmm. So I remember being about 5 or 6 years old, and I would hear these sirens, and it was always the first Saturday in December. And I would hear the sirens, the fire trucks would be coming. And all of a sudden, coming down my street was Frosty and Rudolph and Santa and Mrs. Claus on Billerica's Ladder 1 from the fire department and supported by the Billerica Elks. And this year, the holiday festival, the winter festivals.
I should put some of that up. You want to see it over here, or should we put it up?
The
holiday festival.
The holiday festival.
Yes, we got some footage.
We have some footage, and I do want to show that actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay, but
so
not
you know
yet.
what? And then at the end,
Sure.
Santa would show up at the center.
Yes.
He would travel all over town, and he did it again. He did it again this past Saturday morning. He got up really early, thanks to the Billerica Fire Department and Ladder 1, and they came around town and they brought so much joy and hope, and of course it's just a wonderful thing.
It really is.
So after they're done riding around town, about 5 o'clock, they roll into the town center. And this year, I saw that Rudolph and Frosty and their friends all came about an hour early to hang out with everyone. There were games. I was talking to Sandra Giroux, one of the organizers of the event this year, and she said that the characters really wanted to spend time with Billerica's families this year before Santa got there, because,
That's very sweet.
Santa does kind of steal the show a little bit.
He definitely does.
And so it was nice that Frosty and even the Grinch came. The Grinch could not hold back this year, came all the way up from his mountain. All the way down from his mountain.
Down.
I should know this, having hiked mountains.
Yes, and we are in a valley.
We are in a valley.
Yes.
Well,
kind of.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Well, yeah, Merrimack Valley.
Yes.
The Concord River. So anyway, there is a wonderful clip I want to show you. So why don't we roll that, and when we come back from we'll narrate the clip a little bit.
Yeah, we can do that.
But and when we come back,
we'll try to keep it down so that you can see and enjoy the audio. So let me bring that up, okay? I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You better watch out.
With Santa arriving. And the Grinch. Oh, making a mini at Rudolph. I think I see Pooh Bear and Snoopy. I can't tell you how
So are you ready to light the comet up? Are you ready to light the comet? I blinked you the first time, but thanks a lot. All right, now our honored guests from EMD Serena.
I think so.
We've got to help us pull the switch. We want to have George Oliva and Chris Nesman and family. And Santa, if you want to help, you can.
What is a line?
10.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Yeah, that was my camera. I'm not sure if we do that, but we don't understand right now. Special thanks to who did our footage? That was Jamie Muir, who's another person who did some of the footage. Right? And Captain Walker, right? So really excited about having from the people of First Parish Church. Here's the You know, I was thinking I might light this, but I think for now we're just going to leave it be because I'm not sure that we have all the proper equipment to light it.
I mean, I do have this.
Nancy.
Yeah.
Nancy brought a fire extinguisher in case.
I did, just in case. But if you're not going to light it, I'm just going
I'm
to
not
put
gonna
this
light it.
away.
I'm just going to show it off.
So I'll just put that away. I
So-
had your lower third up there.
I saw, that's great.
I know, I didn't mean to put it there.
We're gonna
though.
work out all
See,
these kinks.
We're working them out. There we go.
So this is so this is called the Hanukkah menorah. And on each of the 8 nights of Hanukkah, we light one extra light. And we do this for 8 nights. We start by adding one. So if I'm facing it this way, we start by adding one to the far right, and then the next right, all the way over to the far left. And we add one each night. And we display them in the window so we can publicly talk about the...
Ooh, sorry.
We can publicly talk about the miracle, publicly proclaim the miracle that the oil lasted for 8 days. Of course, there's a lot of interesting stories about that. One of them is that when... So here's the condensed version and a bit of a holiday message with it. So the Hanukkah story is the Assyrian Greeks came in. A king had come in and said that the Jewish people could no longer worship our God in our own temple in Jerusalem. So we said, we don't want there to be, we don't want your religion to be the only religion in our community. And he said, no, it has to be one religion for all people. And we said, no, we want the freedom to practice as we want, especially in our own land, and we will leave others be. And well, they came in, they desecrated the temple, and when we went to rededicate it, they say that the oil was so defiled that they had to get more. And it was a 4 days journey. And so 4 days there and 4 days back, 8 days. And there was only enough oil to last one night that was undefiled. And so of course it lasted for 8 days, and that's where the miracle of Hanukkah comes from. Those are 2 different stories, believe it or not. One comes from scriptural time, and one comes from Talmudic times, with many years of separation. But that's okay, because the lighting of these candles still continues to inspire generations of people to add more light to the world. And I think that's what the holiday season is all about, both for Christians and for Jews, as well as for Muslims and Hindus and everybody in between, pagans, celebrating the winter solstice, celebrating Christmas, celebrating Hanukkah. It's always about more light. So this holiday season, I'm hoping that each of us can do what we can to add a little bit more light to the world. So I'm not going to light these now, but I figured I would show them to you. I was going to do the prayers and all of that, but I think for now we'll leave it like this. If you have questions about these things, you can always email me. Right now, that is TREKREEF as in Frank @gmail.com, trekreef@gmail.com. I'm happy to answer questions. One last thing, I'm looking to get some amazing footage from folks. If you are someone, because we only have about 30 seconds left, if you're someone who would like to tell us your family's traditions, please give me a call. Please send me an email, trekreef@gmail.com, and we'd like to start displaying some holiday stories over the next few Mondays. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Nancy, for being my co-host, and we'll see you on a Monday soon.
Thank you.
Bye.